National Sales Director, Scarlett Simpson.
Your last career conference as an active national. It's an exciting time, yet emotional. So I hope I make it through it without getting emotional about anything. I want to leave things with you today that I feel from my heart. You know, our motto in Mary Kay is to enrich women's lives. And I want to say from my heart that thank you to Mary Kay Ash, because she and this company has enriched my life and my family's and countless other women so deeply, and changed my life and all of our lives that are here. So thank you, Mary Kay Ash. And I want to thank my directors and consultants that are here. Stan, my directors and consultants from Louisiana. I've got 3 sales directors here. Thank you for being here. I want you to look around this room. I was just thinking about my first career conference as a brand new consultant. And I want you to look around. I was looking out there at each one of you and just wondering, just thinking, who is the next sales director? Look to your left and look to your right. Who's the next sales director? Who's the next national sales director? Are you getting the vision and the dream? This is where it's found. I started Mary Kay, it'll be 28 years in May, and at the time, I had a great family. I was a stay-at-home mom, a professional volunteer. I was involved in everything, didn't get paid for anything, but involved in a lot of activities with my church, with the civic organizations, with my kids at school. I have 3 children. I have a son who's the oldest, Kimberly is the middle, and then Crystal is my youngest. And so I was a really active mom, doing all kinds of activities with them. They were all in sports and cheerleading and dancing and all kinds of things. So I was always the homeroom mom and just always doing things. But I'd really been looking for something. I needed something where I had some extra money. Anybody ever feel like you just need a little extra spending money? And that's what I was looking for. I just needed some extra money. I wanted to be able to write a check without asking my husband. And I wanted to be able to bring the sacks in when I'd been shopping before he went to bed. Anybody know what I mean? I remember one time Crystal, she was about 6, and we had been out shopping. We had bought a new dress. She loved big twirly dresses, and she was spinning around, and I said, now Crystal, don't go in there and announce to your dad that what you have on is new. And so she goes, okay, I won't. So she goes in twirling around and she goes, looks at him, she goes, this is not new. So that's where I was when I started Mary Kay. When I got my starter kit, I really just thought, and this is kind of a dirty word at Mary Kay, but I just thought, I'm just gonna use the products myself, give them as gifts, have a few friends and family that might want to buy from me, but I know for sure that a shadow of a doubt, I don't want to sell anything. I do not like salespeople. They bug me. They're pushy, and I have never sold anything, and I don't want to be the person that when they see me coming, they start running. And so I just knew that wasn't anything I would ever want to do. But when I opened up my starter kit, amazing things happened. I started reading about our company philosophies. Do you know that our company philosophies of putting God first and family second and career third and operating on the golden rule to do unto others as you would have them do unto you? That is our core base principles of our company, and that will never change no matter what happens. That's what Mary Kay started this company on. And when I saw that, I thought, that's what I've been looking for. You know, most jobs are about job, job, job. And so I thought, this is just exactly what I was looking for. Then I saw that they really paid you what you were worth, not just what the job was worth. And I got so excited about it, but it was really still scary. But I did go ahead and ask my best friend, who was my pastor's wife, if she would have a party for me. And she did. And she invited a lot of people over. And I went over and we had a flip chart, and I just basically read off of it. I was brand new, I didn't know anything about any of it. We had a little cassette tape that I plugged in and learned how to say salicylic acid. That was in some of the products for acne, and so I was practicing that, but I read off that flip chart. And when I started doing that, I broke out in a sweat and a rash. I turned all red. I was so nervous and so scared. I had never really stood up in front of people and talked, and so I just was afraid. But then, when we closed with everyone, I had sold over $700. Now, I got really excited, and I thought, you know what, I can be a little bit afraid to do that, right? I made half of that, so I was so excited. I had no idea, none whatsoever, that that was the beginning of my $1 million business. Did you know you have started what could be a $1 million business for you? It all starts when you sell something. And so from that point on, I just started sharing the products. Now, I was really scared to share the opportunity because I didn't have the confidence. But the more I shared the products and the more excited that I got about what I was doing, what do we do just naturally? As women, if we try a great recipe, we're on Facebook going, oh my gosh, look what I made, you gotta try this. And here's the recipe. If you go to a great movie, you can't wait to come back and tell everyone about it, right? Well, I was using all the products and I was sharing the products, so all I had to do was take it to the next step and start sharing the opportunity. And I did that. So I had a great why. You know, my why was to make extra money, all the money that I was earning. The first 3 or 4 months I put aside, and I took my family on a Caribbean vacation. Now, they got pretty excited about that, and all of a sudden, they started thinking of people that might want to try the products too. And so from that point on, I loved the recognition. You know, as a stay-at-home mom, you don't really get recognized when you cook dinner or clean up the kitchen or any of the things that moms do. They're just expected. But all of a sudden I started getting recognition, and I saw that that really motivated and inspired me to be my best, that the little girl dreams that I'd had in my heart, all of a sudden I started realizing that I could still do those. And so I started working on those, and I became a sales director and earned my first car. And the pride of earning that first car, I can't even explain to you how that feeling is. And since then, I don't even know how many cars I've earned now, but the income that put back into my family's budget was just amazing. And so at first my why was really extra money, extra cash, even though I became a sales director and earned cars. But 7 years later, I went through a devastating divorce. I had been married 27 years, and I went through a divorce, and it really set me back. And I really wasn't working in my business. I was a sales director, but I really wasn't doing what I needed to do as a sales director. I was just doing the bare minimum. I was hanging on by a thread. And I got into a deep depression. And so it was really tough during that time. But I've always had a strong belief and faith in God. And I continued to keep praying and keep reading my Bible. And I was able to come out of that depression. And that year just really was hanging on to staying as sales director with the bare minimum. And that year, it was the end of the seminar year, and I lived in Dallas, so the distribution center was there. And so I went to the distribution center to turn in the orders. This is the way you used to do it, or FedEx them. And I turned them in to the company, and there were pink balloons, there was punch, there was cake. A lot of people were celebrating all kinds of things. And I was celebrating, yay, I'm still a director. I didn't lose my unit because I was barely hanging on. And all of a sudden, I just felt that I knew everything was going to be all right. And I started doing faces again. I started building my confidence back up after my divorce. And one of my daughter's friends did a party for me. And I asked my daughter, Kimberly, I said, Kimberly, will you go with me to do this party? And she did. And at that party, her friend wanted to sign up. When we got home, Kimberly said, you know, Mom, I was thinking, you know, that was my friend and really she should be my recruit. And I said, well, that would be interesting if you were going to do this. And so she signed up that day. And so from that point on, she started doing what Sonia was talking about, what we call inner circle, 3 + 3 + 3. But she kind of vamped it up a little bit. The highest level of that is 5 + 5 + 5. Because if you know Kimberly, she's always been the and then some. And so she became a director in 3 months, and then she went on to be to earn her Cadillac 3 months later after she became a director and earned over $115,000 her first year as a sales director. And then Crystal graduated from college, and she went on and became a sales director and a consultant. Her why was she graduated from college, she was looking for a job, and everything starting was so low, and she knew how much Kimberly and I were earning. And so she wanted to, she's like, why would I want to go to work somewhere for $30,000 or $40,000 a year starting when I can get into Mary Kay? And so it's been really wonderful to be able to do that. And then also, my granddaughter now, 18 years old, is a brand new Cadillac sales director. I was divorced for over 12 years, and I met the most amazing person. And we had an amazing life, excuse me. And I love that I was able to be his caretaker for 4.5 years because of my Mary Kay business. Mary Kay works in all seasons of your life, all seasons. And what I would love to leave you with, I would love to leave you with 5 quick things. I know I'm over my time. Real quick, just jot these down. You know, the bee is our symbol in Mary Kay because we're not supposed to fly, but we do it anyway. And number 1, do be a self-motivator. Motivate yourself every morning. Get up. For me, it works to have my quiet time. It works for me to pour in. We give out to so many. You've got to fill up every day. I listen to all kinds of inspirational people I record. Joyce Myers, Joel Osteen, Stephen Furtick. I'm listening to somebody, Beth Moore, every morning while I'm putting on my makeup and getting ready. I'm filling up. Also, affirmations every day. When I open up my draperies, I am saying, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. 2, do be thankful and grateful. Every day, every single day I keep a journal and I write down at least a minimum of 5 things for that day that I am grateful for. And it's different every day. So be grateful and show appreciation to others. Show appreciation more than you could ever think that you need to others. Show them, tell them, and then double it. 3, do be a goal setter. Set your goals like Mary Kay said on the very first video. Write them down, put them in front of you, and set a deadline. Just like Sonia was talking about. You may have to mark that deadline out and go for another deadline, but you never change the goal. The goal is the goal till you reach it. And then 4, do be a worker bee. Yes, faces do take you places. Do the faces. And number 5 is probably the most important. And it's not a do, it's a don't. Don't be a quitter. If you're tired of starting over, stop quitting. Dig your heels in and know that when the going gets tough, that's when you're going to dig in. You've got what it takes. Today, I want to leave with you my heart. I want to leave my heart for this company. I want to leave my heart for the Lord. I want to leave my heart for the Copeland and Simpson areas. I want to leave my heart for you. And I hope that you will know and you will leave here with a vision of what Mary Kay can do for you in your life, and that you are great and you can do it. Thank you.